Do you believe in life after death? Over the years, out of love and respect, I have gone to many funerals. I reason that if you don't go to other people's funerals, they won't come to yours. However, I don't believe that any of those people whose funerals I have attended are truly dead, because I believe in life after death. And not only do I believe it, but I have mountains of evidence to share with you tonight that proves that there is life after death. My first case involves two of the most recognisable faces on the planet, but who lived in two very different worlds. As far as the East is from the West, so great was the difference in their lifestyles. They only ever met twice, and always in front of the world's media. The second and final time was on the 19th of June 1997, when they were photographed holding hands as they entered a shelter for the destitute in the South Bronx of New York City. The younger woman, tall, elegant, and the absolute darling of the tabloids, wearing one of her countless Giorgio Armani designer outfits. This one, a classic tailored cream jacket with matching skirt that came just enough above the knees to reveal her shapely, slim, suntanned legs. To complete her stunning look, she wore a pair of glossy white Jimmy Choo shoes, a short, smart haircut, and impeccably applied makeup. The other woman, 50 years older and 50 centimetres shorter, draped from head to toe in an immaculate white sari, trimmed with 3 bold blue stripes, signifying the 3 vows of poverty, chastity and obedience that she had taken 60 years earlier. Her outfit, chosen from her entire wardrobe of 3 saris, was completed with sensible black sandals worn over thick black socks. With her head fully covered, no hairstylist was needed, and not a smidgen of makeup had ever touched her 86-year-old, raw, wrinkled but radiant face. Who could have predicted that 6 weeks after this well-publicised event, both women would die, 5 days apart? In life, Princess Diana and Mother Theresa commanded much of the world's attention and respect. Everything they said and did was front-page news. Today, 23 years later, in life after death, they still command much of the world's attention and respect because they have left behind some very deep footprints. And despite the fact that one favoured Jimmy Choo shoes and the other one favoured practical sandals, their footprints were remarkably similar. They both had a profound compassion and empathy for people, and they went out of their way in their own world to simply bring a little love and joy to weary human hearts. It's well known that despite Princess Di's glamorous life, she hid enormous personal pain, but it was this very pain that enabled her to understand the pain and suffering of others. Who can ever forget her telling the world that the greatest disease of this century is the disease of feeling unloved? And so she went out of her way to embrace people who were suffering, young and old, black and white. Her love knew no bounds. The world will always remember and admire her beautiful elegance, style and grace. But I believe her greatest legacy was her incredible capacity to do ordinary things with extraordinary love, which she did every day throughout her 36-year journey. Mahatma Gandhi once said that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Mother Teresa's life was a life of unconditional service, attending to the poorest of the poor in Calcutta, in the slums of Calcutta. Here she established orphanages, leper colonies, shelters for the destitute, soup kitchens. In 1979, she was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, and in 2016, she was officially declared a saint. However, what surpasses all these awards was her greatest legacy, which was to give dignity to people who were dying. She simply could not stand by and watch the poor and the destitute, who were often regarded as just human debris and soiled scraps of humanity, to die in the gutters and die alone. So she held the hands of countless people and listened to their last words as they took their last breath. Her energy and enthusiasm has inspired and continues to inspire many to join her order as nuns or volunteers to attend to those people in the world who are unwanted, unloved, or simply unpleasant. These two remarkable women had the common touch, the healing touch, the touch that made all the difference. The warmth of their hands reflected the warmth of their hearts. They were like bright stars that brought a little light to those in darkness and hope to those in despair. How can they not be remembered and celebrated in life after death? So despite their physical passing, people continue to live in life after death. Would you consider Walt Disney dead? Not while millions of children and adults are still enjoying his films, and not while a visit to Disneyland is on everyone's bucket list. Would you consider Steve Jobs dead? Well, while the technology that he helped create can be found in the hands and homes and hearts of every business, he is alive. You may be forgiven for not recognising the name of Sir Arthur Lawley as being our 13th state governor, but you would all know the suburb that bears his name and on which this golf club stands. Freddie Mercury, Michael Jackson and Elvis Presley may have passed away many years ago, but while their fans are still enjoying their music, they're still alive for them. As the American composer Irving Berlin once said, "The song is ended, but the melody lingers on." And I believe no one is actually dead until the ripples they created throughout the world die away. While they live on in hearts left behind, while their names are still being spoken, while their footprints are still visible, and while their melody still lingers, they live in life after death. So Grandma Angelina, whose lasagna recipe everyone in the family uses, is still cooking up a storm in the kitchen 15 years after her physical death. And 97-year-old Elsie, who donated large amounts of money to communities in Southeast Africa so that they could build wells for their water supply, is always remembered by the people in Malawi when they talk of Elsie's wells. And my dear dad, who had a very tough life, is still reminding me to have courage and persevere, work hard, and remember to turn off the lights. And darling Lou, who didn't get to see his 4 children graduate from university or high school or even primary school, will never be forgotten by our now adult children. And my 3-year-old, our 3-year-old, who would have limited memories of his father, feels that he knows his father well because we speak of him often, we have his photo everywhere, we treasure the furniture he made for us and the stories that he told us. And every day we try to live out the values and lessons that he taught us. We don't weep because he's gone, we smile because we are the beneficiaries of his legacy, his works, his words, and his wisdom, and it has greatly enriched our lives. The goal of life is not to live forever, but to create something that will live forever, to leave a legacy, a footprint, a mark that can't be erased, so that we are not forgotten in life after death. Now, looking around the room, I know most of us probably won't become the darling of the tabloids or be declared a saint, and we may not get a suburb or even a well named after us. We might get our name carved on a headstone, but as Pericles, the Greek statesman from the 5th century BC, declared, what we leave behind is not what is engraved on stone monuments, but what is woven into the hearts of others. So what can we weave into the hearts of others? Perhaps our wealth, if we have some to spare, our words, our works, and our wisdom. And never underestimate the value of your words, your works, and your wisdom. So let's all aim to leave a very deep footprint. And in this endeavour, Let's not drag our heels or walk on tiptoes, and let's not worry about our footwear. Let's put our best foot forward and live, love, and leave a proud legacy so we are remembered in life after death.